Shadows. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lord. See if anybody comes in. I'll give everybody a few minutes. Now I'm gonna talk about what I gotta talk about, and I got stuff to do. Hey Monet, what's up? Can you hear me? I'm on the laptop. Hey, can you hear me? I'm on the laptop. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, we can give folks a few minutes because I just put the little thing up. Monet, did you find something out here? What did you find? And Nikki's mad at me, so I don't think she's talking to me, but she might answer your call. I can't do nothing about that. I'm gonna be truthful to people. Um, and no ill will. I still like Nikki as a person. Um, but if I didn't care, I wouldn't say nothing to people. Um, did you find something? Okay. Are you back over the road, or did you talk to? Did you talk to? What's my headhunter name? Did you talk to the headhunter? I don't know why I'm blanking right now. I got stuff to do later. Hey, William. Who is DFX? You saying WFX or DFX? Yeah, Heidi. Thank you. WFX, DFX. I don't know who they are. What do they haul? Is it reefer? Hey, Kathy. What's up, honey? Is it reefer? Um, Monet, are you gonna be doing reefer? You doing dry van? You doing logistic or LTL? What are you gonna be doing? DFX. It seems like it's familiar to me, that trucking carrier. Only reefer. Okay. I don't know why that's so. Are they here in Phoenix? I'm getting to the topic here in a minute, y'all, but I'm just trying to find out from Monet where she went to because she's gonna be switching companies. Okay. Oh yeah, everybody, if you haven't subscribed, hit the like button, give it a thumbs up, and share it out. We're gonna be talking trucking stuff here in a minute. Couple things. I'm not out on the road, but I'm working. Okay, that I know I've seen the trucks. Okay, okay. So it's a small outfit. Small companies can be good as long as they manage it all right. Hey, what's up, Wendy? How you doing? Um, Small companies can be good if they manage it okay. Like that one in Lubbock, it was actually Danielle. What's up, sis? Um, it's the one in Lubbock. I actually liked the trucks were great. Most of the people were cool. It was that owner dude who was just nerve wracking as hell. If he could just leave me alone, I would have run the stuff. I was calling the customers. If Tyson was running late, I mean, I did part of what they do. He was irritating as hell. Um, yeah, right now I wouldn't be in leasing. Not in this market right now. It's not good. Um, I do believe trucking is obviously one of the essential industries. Danielle, you still stuck in Washington? I've been that little truck stop is actually cute though. Bill came and got me from there. Big Pong, what's up? What's up, baby? Um, Trucker Bill came and got me from the truck stop that Danielle was stuck at, and I went and got this burrito that was like this back when I was out there. Y'all, it was good too. Y'all know I like food. So we got a few people in here. I'm going to get into it. Anybody who wants to go back, they can. Prayers for all of y'all on the road who are out there. Dustin, I think you said something about being laid off, and I understand some people, depending on what you're doing, um, you guys are going to need the money. I'm understanding that some of the stimulus checks are coming in. To me, the stimulus check is some chump change. I get what they are. Oh, you in California? Okay. I get what they are trying to do, but $1,200. Most of us as truckers, if you working for a decent trucking company, you make $1,200 in a week. In the office, I probably take that home maybe every couple of weeks after taxes and stuff. Um, but my expenses are cheap right now. I don't have major expenses. I got some financial stuff I need to take care of to do a Chapter 7 to get old debt gone. But other than that, most of my expenses are dirt cheap. And as Kathy said, prayers for all, because this is going to, they're talking about redoing the economy. And I want to get into that later, but I'm going to do some trucking stuff and then we'll talk about some other stuff. I'm probably going to be on here. I really don't want to be on here more than 30 minutes to an hour because I got stuff to do in the back. I've got to put my drip line in on my garden, and maybe it's coming up slowly. I did direct seed. Direct seed takes longer. I'm going to get eventually set up to where I can actually start my seeds in the house, which is quicker because it only takes a week. And then once you put the established plant out there, it booms. But I did direct seed, so all my incubation stuff was all done out in whatever weather conditions we're dealing with here in Arizona. I do have stuff popping. I've got all my 4 tomato plants have popped. Um, I got my squash plants have popped. My corn has popped. My pepper plant has popped. I got a jalapeno pepper plant. I don't know if I put out some bell peppers. I don't know. I gotta go look and see because I put several things in 1 square foot area. The one I was waiting on though I need is my marigolds, and marigolds help with insect repellent. And then I also threw some mint out in some of them too. Mint is also an insect repellent. I already got insects that are eating one of my plants, and I had to put some diatomaceous earth out there, which is a more natural pest repellent. And then I'll probably order some neem oil here, but I got a drip system I got to install. I did one of them already. I'm going to install the second one, and then I just got more dirt to get everything up. So what I'm really going to tell you guys is, y'all know my whole Christian view. Prayers over your family. I really do. One of my boys, if you guys didn't read, I think I posted in a post on the community page here on my website. When I got in, was in trucking school, I teamed with a guy named Mike. And then we'll get into everything else. But I'll tell you about Mike because I want to honor him. Mike is a veteran of 3 wars. I think he did 2 tours in Iraq and then one in Afghanistan, or vice versa, 2 in Afghanistan and one in Iraq. He is retired Air Force. For a while, he was even a single father. Him and his wife. I met his wife, met his family. We were just cool people. We were in trucking school together. We even teamed for a while at Swift. And he just lost his father a couple weeks ago to COVID. He did not get to say goodbye. He couldn't be there in the hospital. I mean, it's a lonely death for a lot of people, and it's also very non-closure experience for the family to not be able to be there with a loved one in their sickness, and especially a father to a son. So, and I know he has a daughter too, because Mike is only 2 siblings. It's him and his sister. So neither of the siblings got to say goodbye to their dad. They can't even go bury him. Hey Shay E, what's up? This is we going through right now. So here he is, a man who and what Mike did in the military was something I can't even imagine wrapping my head around doing that as my job. But what he did over in the war was to package up the bodies to send them home with the soldiers. So for him to even be in his right mind after that, doing that in 3 different tours, I can't even imagine. And then later on, his ex-wife died. He got custody of his children. He was raising his children on his own, and then he got remarried. So he is in Louisiana, which is one of the hot states for the disease, the virus disease, the same thing to me. Anyway, he's in one of the hot states, which is where his father was. And he had posted on my Facebook that I got that his father passed away. So, and due to COVID complications, the office that I work in, there were some of the people that kind of joked about it. And I'm not a jokey person when it comes down to that. We did laugh at the one girl who was just like really freaked out when it first was announced, and she was cleaning the desk and everything. And she was like really, but at this, because she was just so over the top. She's a sweetie. She's just young. But and don't get me wrong, I was conscious. I had my rubbing, my gel and stuff in the drawer, and um, I actually was taking Lyft to work for the last. I think I took the bus home one time, which was leaving the job, and I didn't go back because I wasn't feeling good. And I've taken Lyft almost every day when it was the announcement. I felt more better in that than the petri dish of the bus. But definitely y'all be careful to my drivers, especially, and to get into it, there's some treatment that you guys are getting. I got almost cussed out the other night by a driver on the phone. I'm after hours. If y'all know, I do after hours. We call us after hours agents, but I have dispatch manager capability. We have planning capability, but they don't let us use it. Um, Basically, I even interact with the customer, so Walmart, Target, whoever, if they call, want to track a truck, I do that. I talk directly with drivers, which I love doing. I am at a starter company. So for me, I love helping starter drivers, but there's things I would like to do at this company that I see. They're a spinoff of another company I work for, but I see where I could really, I'm like, y'all need to incorporate some of that, but they haven't, and I don't understand. We run very, very lean. So like our after hours, which supports all of the 48 US plus any customers that call in, I don't think we're more than 13 to 14 people in that group. And they're usually, I work, this week is my long week. So Wednesday I go to work and I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Each day is 12-hour shifts. So I'm on the phone and my shift is 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning. And I love the job itself. The people I work with is another can of worms, but there's a few that are really sweet people. There's others who I can tell. I'm one of well, the other young lady I was joking about, I think she's mixed because she's a light skinned African American girl. Um, I'm pretty sure she's African American. I don't know if she's black and Latino or black and white mix, which we know in America that's a little more acceptable to Anglo folks. Um, I'm darker skinned and I don't think yeah, it's different. I just say it's different. Um, so I was really struggling because I love the job itself, but the acceptance of diversity there is not good. They really need some diversity training, not only in my ethnicity, they need it for women. They need it for age stuff. What I've seen has been deplorable in an office. And I can say I drove a truck, but they don't know of my 21 years in corporate America, anywhere from middle management to a little higher than middle management, even in training. And so I have no intentions on using any of those skill sets there. I pretty much want to just come in, do my job, and go home because I just can't. The young lady that I had referred to the company, she went back home. She's like, I can't even afford this because we had so many people. They're very cutthroat. Um, she says, here I come in to do my job, and if I do get opportunities, I got to worry about whether this person is backstabbing me or going to set me up in order to get me out their way because they want this position. She said, and there was way too it's very prevalent, at least in my area. And it was just too much. So we didn't do that. So I'm happy where I'm at as far as that. And I enjoy helping my driver. That much I love about the job. I love working with the driver. Now I do have some drivers who are buttholes. I'm gonna put that way. The other night, getting to it, I had a driver, he called in. Well, let's do not yeah, let's deal with that one because it's about the COVID. Both of them are. So the driver called in and just screaming at me on the phone. Well, whatever the name of the company is I work for, blank company. Y'all didn't tell me that I was going to have screenings at the customer. And we're talking Walmart, Target, Albertsons. Any of these places can require you to be screened. I was like, well, first of all, that company is named, example, let's say Target. That company is named Target. That company is not named blah, blah company that you work for. It's named Target. Okay. So, example, Monet's looking at this DFX company. That company's not named DFX. The company's named Target. That means when you go onto their property, it's their rules. It's just like if you come to my house and you go to Danielle's house, me and Danielle may have two different rules for how we live in our home. When I walk into Danielle's house, even though this is Shannon's house, I gotta respect Danielle's rules, or I don't go into her doggone house. Okay, vice versa. Danielle came to my house. She like family, and I said, I'm very clear. My homegirl that went to work for me, went working with me, Regina, at the company. Her and her son stayed with me for a period before she came down here because she's thinking about trying to transition back here. These are my house rules. When I stayed with Vivian had house rules. I have to honor that person's home. That's their rule. They pay that rent, they pay that bill, that mortgage, whatever. So that company, let's say Target, Walmart, who else? Sam's Club, shoot. Dollar Tree, Dollar General, I got to honor their rules, first of all, as a driver. And if they decide they feel that I need to go and have my temperature taken and they want to just make sure I ain't showing no symptoms to step onto their property in this hour, you ain't got nothing to complain about. Matter of fact, you should be happy they're doing it. Because not only are they protecting their people, they're protecting you from other truckers that might come on there sick. This is the reality of the world we live in. So while you on the phone screaming at me, acting ignorant, and it was a brother, I could tell it was a brother. Ooh, it was a brother. It's a ninja. And not saying brothers are ninjas, but y'all understand what I mean. Ninjas can be anybody, any ethnicity. But he was acting ninja is. Oh, sweet mother of God. So what he did, he just went off on me, and I was like, "Look, let me explain something to you." Because at that point, I didn't care. I said, first of all, hey, I'm a driver. My CDL is still in my wallet. It's still active. I got my new updated medical card. I get my butt on the truck if I needed to. Okay, I keep that skill set active because it's always in case I need. Okay. First off, you up here screaming at me about this. Hello, we got people dying from this stuff. That company is owned by XYZ Corporation. It's not owned by this company. First off, number one. Number two, you own their property. That's their house. They can choose whether to let you on that property or not. And the way you acting right now, you lucky it's not me up in there dealing with you because I wouldn't let you on my property until you take your stuff back and file a complaint with your company. You must adhere in this hour because it's not, to me it said a lot because I'm not really, some of the other issues with that particular company he was at, I'm like, ugh. But I honor them for what they're doing because to me they're protecting their people that are there. They're protecting any drivers coming on and off their property. um I'm sorry, this thing is highly contagious. And unfortunately, all they can do is screen the people with symptoms because the ones who are asymptomatic who aren't showing any signs of the virus, you can't do nothing with them. I mean, you ain't gonna know. So I do want you guys to be aware that if you are out here, you drivers, if you look at this later, you might go to a customer for a delivery or pickup, and that customer is gonna say, "I need to take your temperature." What's the problem? They're doing it to protect themselves, but in the round scheme of things, they also protecting you. It's not 100%. But it is saying somebody coming up here coughing and hacking and spreading particles and walking around their facility or going into their offices, infecting their employees or infecting other drivers who also have to share that warehouse. If y'all don't know, I follow certain things. I follow. I told you I'm very analytical, so I'm very matter of fact, and I'm doing it not only for my education. I like to understand things. Some of us are just walking out here willy nilly into this with no comprehension. Some people are getting caught up into conspiracy theories behind it. I'm a matter of fact kind of chick. Okay. Matter of fact, right now, uh, if I can do something to prevent, like I could be asymptomatic. So I got through the quarantine because I told you I was in a place of business where I got notified that somebody that was in one of the buildings in that business had contracted the coronavirus. So I self quarantined as you should do for 14 days. That was not last Thursday, Thursday before was it. Okay, so that was the end of it. I left out this house one time, and when I left out and I had to go pay bills, I had to get a money order for my rent and stuff and other bills. When I left up, I was masked up, I was gloved up because I did not want to infect somebody if I'm asymptomatic. So I went where I had to go and I came directly back. Done. You pretty much, I did not leave this house. And I really pretty much have done the same up until I went grocery shopping Thursday of last week. And I did not do full groceries. I'm getting ready. I've set up part of my groceries for delivery at home. And I will probably be doing all my groceries going forward, delivery at home. I'm pretty much setting my crib up to where I don't have to step out of here for 60 to 90 days, however, or longer if necessary. My doctor I can call, my prescriptions I'm going to have delivered. I'm good. I got probably about 60 days supply right now left of my existing prescriptions. There's things we can do. Now, for you to have an attitude about going onto a facility, my problem is the self-centered. It's some grumpy smurf kind of attitude. Y'all, it's about more than you. Okay, when you walk out this crib, maybe you don't care about your own life. Maybe you don't care if you if you croak tomorrow. You might not care. Drainage, y'all, ain't nothing else. Sinuses. You might not care about nothing else. You might not care about nobody else, but at least be human enough for your fellow man. Um, yeah, you can do bras for masks. I've seen somebody do that. You care enough about your fellow man. Please, it's not hard. And if we all did that, we would lessen spreading it to the next person. So I wouldn't be worried about grandma getting it if I'm asymptomatic. I might be able to go out here and just breathe, sneeze, blow my nose, whatever, cough, and be asymptomatic and not care. I had a man the other day. I was in the laundromat. I had to go do because I don't have a laundry here yet. I may get a little portable laundry machine and put a line out the back. I was at the laundromat the other day. I was keeping my distance from everybody. I'm in the corners folding my laundry, getting some love ready, keeping my distance. Do I want it? Hey, Sherry, what's up? Do I want it? No. I don't. Yeah, I don't want it. But I'm okay. My spiritual house for me is in order. But I also don't want to be responsible for a child getting it because there are children dying of this right now. I got two prayer requests from parents whose kids are in the hospital right now. One just got put on a ventilator, and most people get on ventilators. It's not a good day because you may not come back from it. Those are the ones who are not living long. Because when something else has got to breathe for you, you really kind of knocking at heaven's door. You're knocking at the. I think I might be coming, Lord. So I got babies that I'm praying for right now. Little bitty, hey Regina, little bitty babies that I'm praying for right now. Who one is I know on a ventilator, one is unconscious, like in coma state in order to breathe. Another one, and little bitty kids. I know they said this disease, this virus was for mainly older folk. I know that's what they told us. But there are people who have underlying health disease or don't even know they have them. And they anywhere from 5 years old. What Pink, her Pink, I know the singer Pink, her and her 3-year-old got COVID. And she was on Ellen talking about it. I'm gonna tell y'all, why are you up here fussing with the customer about getting a temperature check to protect they people, possibly you, the truck driver, from another truck driver who might be showing symptoms? You and I know as truckers, I've driven sick, we're not supposed to. I've driven not good, we're not supposed to. Either because of our dedication or the need for the money, or you supporting a family. Whatever it is, you've driven where you haven't felt well. So no, don't go up on these people's property and then have an attitude about them taking your temperature to check to see that you're not showing possible signs of the virus. They're doing the only thing they can to try to protect their property, their people, and possibly you, the trucker. Okay, so don't go act a fool. Don't call your company cussing them out to my. Why do you know? You know that they asking me out here. Y'all didn't tell me. I can't. And I had to kind of tell him. I was like, "Are you for real? Are you for real? Crazy." Um, the other thing is, I had another trucker that called me a couple weeks ago. And I was helping him with his load, and he was telling me, and I think it was a pilot in California. They were not even letting them use the bathrooms. The food, like Arby's, was shut down, in the bathrooms. They couldn't even use the bathrooms. He's talking about the dude handed him toilet paper and told me to go under your truck or find somewhere out in the woods there and go, or somewhere out in the area away from the truck stop and go do what you got to do, and have some paper towel or some toilet paper, paper towel. I was like, are you serious? So there's some twofold things going on. In the case of the truck stop he stopped at, what he explained to me is they told him, we have no cleaning supplies. They could not get, because of all the hoarding, and it was in California, that has taken place. This particular pilot was still waiting on the cleaning supplies to disinfect the toilets. That means the toilets probably weren't being able to be used, nor the showers. Because obviously, if you can't use, because y'all know that if the bathroom closes, Um, if the bathroom closes, you can't. I'm gonna read that in a minute, y'all. If the bathroom closes, you can't even go and use the toilets. So, because sometimes if the toilet was bad, they would give you a shower to use. You go in there and use that, and they use that as a temporary bathroom. That means none of that is open. And I was like, and I kept telling, "Are you serious?" Because it's hard for me because I have to pee sometimes a lot, being a borderline diabetic, and it's hard for me to be sitting up there. And I was like, but then I said to myself, Lord, that's why I had a porta john on my truck. I had a porta john, a funnel bottle, everything I needed. If you got to go, I had it. I could do it on my truck. So if y'all are either drivers or you know drivers, Walmart, paint bucket, portable lube. Or they might have to go through Amazon and order them a porta john for their truck. 13-gallon trash bags, and if they can get some paper towel, baby wipes, work it out. You can figure it out, and some Ziplocs, and then you dispose of it just like a baby's diaper. Boom, it's what it is. It's the world we in. In Pennsylvania, one of my drivers, they actually weren't letting them in because they just shut down the store. The only way you could order anything from that truck stop gas station was to walk up to the window, pay them, or they would slide it through. If y'all went to them gas stations where they could slide it through the little thing, and they had a window, that's what they did. They're scared. And not only are they scared, maybe if it's a mom and pop, this was a mom and pop truck stop she was at, they doing the best thing they know how to do to protect their workers. Some of it is scared, some of it is ignorant. Um, to me, I would have at least ordered a porta john to be outside the facility so people could use that, maybe the porta john service, because they'll come suck all the crap out, and you have a little disinfectant wipe when you leave, a little station you put your hands and wash it. If y'all ain't never done it, I've had to do it. You got to do what you got to do. This is what we do. Let me read what's saying here. So Wendy, who said I'm happy I got your live? Hold on for a second, y'all. Somebody, hold on. Let me go back. I'm just gonna make sure I ain't missing nobody. Okay, Dustin talked about the unemployment and waiting for stimulus check. Yeah, a lot of companies are just terminating instead of laying off, unfortunately. And the Senate is working on a stimulus plan right now. Oh yeah, there's gonna be more than one, honey. Um, Okay, you doing hydroponics? Okay, I haven't. I have to show you my little back area. I'm here in Arizona. I know the hydroponics is supposed to be good. It's a little more pricey for me right now. I just got some pop-ups and some grow bags, and I'm gonna do that. I've got more I'll probably be doing with planting, especially here in the near future after this is over. If God ever open up the doors, I can get me some land. I do a homestead in a minute after this. Yeah, that it was. Mike is good brother too, very good brother, and three tours, three wars. Yeah, good brother, good dad too. Because I mean, he got girls. His daughter had just joined the Air Force not that long ago too. Drivers on. His son is in college out there, I think in Louisiana. Okay. Yeah, I'm draining, so I have to be telling people because I know people be flipping. But the thing is, because I had a hack, I was like, you sneeze. Like, thank you, God. Y'all forgive me. Thank you, Jesus. It was just a sneeze. But I had coughed a couple times, but my cough is not dry. It's the phlegm that's going down through my sinuses and it's dropping. So sometimes I hate to say you suck it out. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Everybody done had it. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, Sherry, welcome to the live. I'm happy you caught one. Hubby refuses to come in the house since he's OTR now. I put all his food and clothes out in front for because he doesn't want to take the risk of getting me sick. So yeah, that is true. If you guys have a family member who's OTR, I talked to one of our drivers, and what she said was that her husband is OTR, and Wendy's husband. And so what he does, he won't come in the house. Well, they've got big land, so if you got a camper, or you can get a something where they can stay when they come home, that's probably your best bet because they're highly exposed. It's like Danielle. Danielle has a dog I love. Y'all forgive me. I'm on an air mattress. I gotta order a mattress. My desk came in. I'm ordering a bed, but I'm on an air mattress. Danielle, this is the mattress that leaks. I took it back, and this one leaks too. It's an air mattress, and it has a slow leak, and it has an auto air thing in it. I think it's this jacked up Walmart brand. I think I'm gonna write to him because this is the second one. And Aunt Danielle, when she came, she picked herself up a queen and left it, so you can use it, you can have it. Well, I start sinking because there's a slow leak. And the other one she brought, when she bought it, she bought the queen. It had a leak. I took it back with the receipt. They had no queen, so we had to go to the full. The full leaks the same way, and it's one of the soft air mattresses. Mattresses like $60, y'all, at Intex, Walmart. Yeah. Anyway, that's this is what I'm sleeping on right now. Because like I said, I got well, I don't the bed. I didn't keep my soft bed, so I was gonna order a new frame and everything. Um, I had everything else, bookshelves. I got all the other furniture. And it hasn't been really that important to me. I don't know why. It just hasn't. It's just I think it's from living on a truck. I realize you don't need as much as you think you need. I know that's strange. Um, but anyway, let me see here. Let me the going outside. So I had one driver. He said he's going to be on the road. I think he said until May, or he said until it might be over, because he has a wife and a daughter at home, and he don't want to get none of them sick, and he don't know what he'll get. He's a former vet, and so he's not going home till then. That was one of my drivers I talked to. Um, let's see. Okay. Yeah, and then what I am gonna say, if you go out the house, I'm coming to Regina next. If you go out the house, any of you guys go out the house, because I have been, like I said, I listen a lot. Even Joe, I try to school Joe on stuff. Joe, me, I haven't even seen Joe. We were supposed to go to an international market, and he said, Shannon, I'm just thinking that this ain't a good idea. I said, you know what, you're fine. Because I by myself, it's just me. If something happens to me, it's just me. I'm not worried about me. For him, he's walking back into a house with six people. His household is 6 or 7 people in that house. Joe is 63. His mom is 96 or something, 94, 96. He's got a sister now staying there that's 70 something. He has a brother who's in his 60s. He's got a Down syndrome brother who's my age, 51. And then he has the great nephew staying with him. Um, and so he's got too many people in that house at risk. And I was like, you know what? You got too many at risk, and we really aren't supposed to be hanging that close. We were going to go to Tennessee just to get whatever, because he said they had everything at this market. Well, the reality is, when me and Joe went shopping right at the start of this, I got every major staple. I got rice, I got beans. Those two are major staples. I got lentils that had lentils for a while. So I've got lentils, and I got rice. I got probably close to 10 pounds of beans in my cabinet right now. And I probably got the rice is okay. I probably got a decent size of rice too. So right now, for one person, I'm straight. If I do a pot of beans, it's gonna last me a week if I get to the point where I need that. Actually, I'm gonna be doing some beans because I want some bean burritos. So I'm gonna be doing that here, and also I do either my veggie, and I have eaten meat. So I ain't gonna tell y'all I haven't. Matter of fact, I made lamb for Easter. Made it, only had a couple of bites of it because I ended up making a sandwich, because while it was cooking, I got hungry, and then I was like, I didn't eat it. So I'm actually gonna end up probably heating that up for dinner tonight, and dealing with that. Let's see here. Let me get into here. Let's see. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. Going in your house. So I've sent some to people I know online. There is a doctor on here, and well, he's supposed to be a doctor, but I do like what he does. It's very clinical, so I think he is a doctor. I don't know who that is. I want to do that. Um, what he does is he does. I don't even know that number. They can leave voicemail. He does a video on. I'm trying to think. Who is that? We'll see who that is later. He does a video of. What was it? Where he brings the groceries in and he separates them. So he takes half the groceries, he puts a line down, and he shows you how to get your groceries, because the virus can sit on certain things for a period of time. And the CDC, I think they have a site that tells you, so like metal, like stainless steel and plastic, I think it can be up to 3 days. Um, and obviously the black bags that we get are made out of plastic, right? So it can be up to 3 days. Um, who else? Who else? There's another one. Um, trying to think what else he did. That's up to 3 days. No, no, hold on. Cardboard, 24 hours. And then Jean Cottle, who I also watch, she's talking today. They did an interview with her about shoes, and like they only have a study from I think China or wherever where they were showing it was in a hospital how many days, and it stayed on the shoes for quite a while. But it was in a hospital setting where you're walking in the petri dish of the virus. So there's things that we need to do to try to not track this into the home as best we can. Now, groceries, you're going to have to bring them in. Some of you who are having groceries delivered and that person's handling them, if they coughed or sneezed on their hand, obviously that can now be on your groceries. In addition, if they're shopping for your groceries, if Sally keeps picking up, like yesterday, I watched a lady, she picked up, she touched almost like there's tomatoes in the box. So I got the tomatoes bagged up. When I get done, I get ready to undo them, you got to wash them. Anything that goes into the freezer, the virus can live a very long time in freezer conditions. And I forgot what that guy said, but it was a very long time in freezer. Doesn't survive heat, but can live in the freezer. So when you bring your frozen things home, make sure you're washing off plastic containers. It's like I bought some of those I like the English cucumbers, and they usually come in plastic, right? So yesterday, the first thing I did is I do still have Lysol, thank God. I Lysol off all of the vegetables in plastic. I Lysol off anything that comes in plastic before it goes into the refrigerator, if it's coming in its own container. If you can move it to its own container, that's good. But if you got it, it comes in like, what did I get? I got some of those mushrooms from Costco, and it's already saran wrap. That's a plastic, obviously, right? So before I even put it in the refrigerator, I Lysol it down and do that. Give me a second, y'all, to find who the hell this is. Mm. Anyway, um, at this time, what you want to do is, I was like, if it's hospital or doctor's office, I want to make sure, because I got relatives, my aunt's in Tennessee, so, and she's in her 70s. So if you do um, any kind of, what's the word I want to use? Any kind of bringing your groceries in, guys, be careful. Just it's we are taking extra steps. When I come in now, I have to take the shoes off that I come if I leave out of here to go somewhere. Like I went to the store yesterday. Well, I had to go laundry, and then I went to Sprouts real quick, and I hit those two places. I was gloved up, masked up, but when I came in this house with shoes and socks and even everything I had on, because what I don't know is how long does it last on clothes? you know, and how long does it last on your skin? So I'm wearing my long sleeve t-shirts, long sleeve pants. And then the first thing I did was I took off everything in the kitchen because it's just me in my house. I kicked the shoes off right by the door. I kicked my socks off. I didn't stop. I put everything down on the floor. If nothing had to go immediately in the refrigerator, I put it in the freezer. I put it all on the floor. I sprayed everything down first. And then I went from the kitchen, totally in the birthday suit, into the shower. And I did a complete shower, hair wash, everything washed. Because I done been in a petri dish. You walk out there and you're in a petri dish. You're walking out there into whatever, and in the laundromat, there's social distancing is virtually impossible. Um, and so you got people, and there were a ton of people who didn't have masks, didn't have gloves. Some because they can't afford it. They can't find it. Okay, there's none. They're taken up by all the hoarders. That's why the medical community was so hit hard. Is because we had even if you could have bought it from local places, all the freaking hoarders went and bought them. Um, so you had that going on. But when you walk in, guys, when you're handling your groceries, even if they're being delivered to you, if you can make disinfectant spray up. Here's an old school method. Spray bottle, if you can get the what they call chemical resistant ones, if you can. If not, you got to use what you got to use. About a quarter a cup of bleach, the quarter of the bottle of bleach, should I say? Quarter of the bottle of bleach. The rest of it some water, and I put a couple squirts of Dawn in there. Shake it up. That's what I use for my shower. It's a disinfectant. If bleach ain't gonna kill it, we just in trouble. If bleach don't do it, I don't know what else will. And if you don't, I've been using the Lysol aerosol, but I'm getting ready to do that. Also, Joe had gotten me something because he's a massage therapist, so he has access for salon stuff. And there's a viricide that they use. That's how they clean salons and when they do nails and all that. And he was able to get access to that, so he got me a bottle of that. And I'm going to create a solution for that. And I'm going to have the spray bottle at the front door and at the back door. Your door handles when you come in and out, spray it. If you have somebody deliver and they open the door, thank you very much. Make sure your gloves are on. Go out there and spray it. Disinfect each time. It's you're going to have to be. If y'all wasn't the neatest people in the world, you're going to take that cleanliness up to another level. Let me get in here and look and see what we got. So actually, Wendy, I think it's good what he's doing, and God bless him for caring about you enough to do that. Shannon, they're going to open up back things back up May 4th, and it's sad because I see bodies being stacked up. Like, yeah. Let me go back to Regina's thing. Y'all can go down and read her comments, but let me go down here. And we'll talk about that. The cities are mandating, and this is serious till it's not funny anymore. There's a shortage of tissue being made. Says it's due to tissue wasn't made and should need to be last a long time. Okay, hold on. I'm just reading Regina's comments here. All right, so I'm gonna address. Hey, son, I didn't see you come in. I'm reading a whole bunch of other stuff. Easy Rider. Okay, well, Easy Rider, you ain't gotta watch. It's not bothering me. Y'all, for my admins of Easy Rider, exit Easy Rider, I'm gonna give you the peace sign. But God bless you, and hopefully your family's all right, bro. And to me, why are you even watching if you don't want to be on here? African Violet, what's up, maybe? Let's see here. Shay E, what's up? What she said. Oh, okay. Wendy already took care of it. Thanks, Wendy. um, all right. So AD, what's up? I said your name before. Eddie Biopo, I think it is. I always mess it up. But D, what's up, baby? Haven't seen you in a while. And Valencia, what's up? Let's see here. So let me go back to Regina's comment. So Regina's talking about the fact that Trump has, I guess, announced that he wants to open up the country. Let me say this to you about our politicians. Whether it's Trump, and right now Cuomo is actually I kind of appreciate what he's doing a little bit more, even though I know he's getting some flack. There's been some kind of feed, and I got it through Facebook. I don't know whether he said it or not. I call it a sound bite because if I can't see the whole thing that took place and I know where it came from, to me it's a sound bite, and it can be edited, it can be doctored. I've been watching Cuomo, if not every day, every other day, and because obviously New York being the hardest hit. I usually like his business sense, his logic as a politician. Now, first of all, I'm gonna tell you this much. Here is my view of most politicians: they all lie. They all lie. Um, they're business people who manipulate and they don't tell the full truth. So they all lie to some extent. Um, I to me, I don't know what's true, what's false, but I know he's getting hit by some of the major Christian, right wing Christians, who I guess he supposedly says something about the spread, that they've been the ones meeting him, and them that self. I did this. I stopped the spread because we stopped started social distancing. Faith in God have nothing to do with this. This is some kind of bullet point feed that I got through my Facebook that people have sent to me. Again, I don't know what's truth, what's false, because I do know that when you see those, sometimes those can be doctored. So I don't know if the man said it. I don't know if he didn't say it. To me, it doesn't matter. He's a politician, so he's not Jesus. He's not Jesus. So what he says to some degree is really irrelevant. We've accepted, for example, a president who didn't, in my opinion, act quick enough. But even if he would have acted, and I would say quick enough, he didn't act as early as we would have liked, because I don't foresee that even had he acted early, we were not prepared, nor would we be prepared. Um, it would have given us a little head start, but we still are going to be devastated with the numbers. Would they have been as much? I don't know. We don't know because it didn't happen at that time. Um, Again, right now, any going back to work and all this other stuff, it's in order to stimulate the economy. It's in order for us not to go into the recession that we are going to go into. And let me rephrase it, the depression that we are going to go into. Um, that's number one. We're looking at plague in a time frame, a more modern time frame than what we've seen in the past. Okay. And when I say past, history books. So we have a generation of people hadn't been taught. I'm just going to go there. And they don't know the histories of the old plagues that we've had before. And y'all know my whole Christian thing. We can go back to biblical plagues. Plague is not new to us in this world. There's nothing new under the sun in this world. Okay. It has happened before. It happens again. It's devastating to us because we've been living all these years. We're now what we call America, Europe. We're considered first world countries. We're not like in Africa, who's a third world country, or some of the other third world countries where we don't have the technology, we don't have um, technology, we don't have um, the world we live in. Right now, we're privileged to go in that bathroom and take a dump and have to use a cloth to wipe our butt. Because if you go into Africa, they might be out in a field somewhere taking a dump. They might have an outhouse in certain places in Asia. So we're blessed to have a toilet to go to, but yet we complain because we don't have toilet paper. I grew up on cloth diapers. But yet we've got generations of people who are used to disposable diapers. Sometimes we have to get humbled to go back to the stuff, like my buddy Joe. Joe was like, oh my God, because he was stressed. We don't have any Lysol wipes. You got some bleach? Yeah, oh, okay. You got water? Yeah, okay. You got some dish soap? Yeah. Or you regular detergent you wash your clothes with? Yeah, okay. Well, all you need to do is go to Walmart and get one of them chemical bottles or some kind of spray bottle. Chemical bottle's better though. It'll last longer. You pour about a quarter thing of bleach in the bottle. You put the rest of it in some water and a couple squirts of dish detergent, or you can use your regular laundry detergent. You shake it up, boom, you got disinfectant and a cleaner. How do you make that again? Now, Joe grew up Latino. His family originally came from Mexico to here. He talked about poverty level. Now, I don't know what he recalls because I don't know how soon it was when his family came out of that poverty level. I grew up, my mom was a single mom. My grandfather was comfortable, but my mom, she was trying to do it on her own, just like I'm very independent. I got family who's exceptionally comfortable. I'm not bothering them about my money. I'm not bothering them about anything. Let me let me state this to you. I remember, like, if I don't have a dustpan right now, I could use newspaper, cardboard, or paper plate, and I can sweep up this whole apartment. Yes, can. All I need is a broom and that. I don't need a dustpan. There's things that we're going to have to go to, and y'all may be writing comments. I'm just still on Regina's comment. There's things we're going to have to go to, number one, during this time. It is not new. Like I was trying to tell Grumpy, who's so used to wanting to go to the restaurant and sit down and pay a woman $20 to bring him a $3 to $5 breakfast so she can put butter on his toast every morning. But he don't want to get off his butt and go in that kitchen, and he knows how to cook. He can fry chicken. He knows how to cook. I don't want to. Okay, you ain't got to, brother. Sit in the house and starve. So many of us are used to the modern conveniences. We're being humbled right now. And the self centered entitlement of Americans, I'm going to say Daddy God is addressing that. And I'm not saying it's funny. What I'm saying is we need to become more humble. And sometimes we got to go back to some situations. You blessed to be breathing and not sick with this right now. But yet we hoarding toilet paper in the grocery stores. Danielle's a truck driver trying to get America's food to us. She couldn't even get toilet paper to put on a truck. She couldn't get lunch meat to be over the road, to cook for herself, to not have to go into places, to avoid it when she left Lubbock, Texas, because they had hoarded out all of the major supplies. If you were, and I know some of y'all are way younger than me, my mom used cloth diapers, and she decided to do it on my brother too. So I ended up, because my mom did not take care of my brother, I did in his youth before I ended up living with my grandfather. She decided to have cloth diapers. I'm gonna do them like I did you in cloth diapers. She didn't wash not Nan diaper. I'm gonna say not Nan, not a one. But the way it worked with a cloth diaper, and that's a baby's butt that I didn't have. That poop is in the diaper. You dump it in the toilet. You flush. I'm getting ready to get real with y'all. You take that same toilet water and you do this with the diaper to get the rest of the poop out of it, and you wring it out, and then you put it in the diaper pail for it to be washed. Your hands, which are now from the toilet water and the poop, you got to go to the sink, wash soap, and clean your hands. That's for a baby. You a human being, it's your poop, your butt. Get some cloth, do what you got to do. You might have to wash them out. You got a toilet to sit in inside of a home. You're not going out to an outhouse. If you have an outhouse, that might be a blessing depending on where you're at, because you're not going out in the woods, bent over, squatted down, trying to take a poop or a piss. If you own a truck, and I know it's not a toilet, but toilet like at the truck stop, but you're not underneath the truck with all your jewels hanging out, and you're able to sit on a little porta john that you put together, take your business, handle it, and clean your butt. We're gonna make it work. We're in a time we gotta make some stuff work. I watched a video with a mama. The mama had her sons, her boys, they had a bunch of socks. I knew what she was getting ready to do. She put her three sons in the living room, dumped this big bag of socks, of mismatched socks. She said, I need y'all to go through and get all the socks that match and put them together. And y'all put them over here. Then we're going to lay everything out and we're going to make sure and have you go back through and see if there's any matches. Then what she was going to do is cut them socks up. And then we're going to become butt rags. I already knew what she was going to do. Because you got to make some stuff work. It's not pretty what we got going on. Unfortunately, the hoarders have shown us who they are, and the self-centered, entitled Americans who, hey, we're going to have the cleanest behinds in America and still be buttholes. Come on, y'all. Worst case scenario, look, this one guy from Russia got on there. He says, Americans, you guys are weird. He says, when we had it hard in Russia, he said, we use newspaper, old mail to wipe our behinds. And then we just wash up and we go. You're going to make it work. The entitlement of us as a first world country is amazing. To Regina's point about going back, I don't necessarily agree with the go back thing right now. But I understand why they're pushing for it, and they're pushing for it for economic reasons. The thing is, I think it's going to backfire unless we get a good treatment plan going and or a good vaccine. And the vaccine is probably a year or more in the making. Today I was watching, I think it was from yesterday, Ellen and Bill Gates, because Bill Gates actually predicted this back in 2015, 16, sometime around then. He talked about a pandemic. He talked about being ready for a pandemic. Man is genius. Maybe even led of the Lord a little bit, not even realizing it. Not saying he's Christian, but I'm just saying sometimes we have to understand folks is led to do things they didn't realize they was doing for a reason. And so he had warned of this coming pandemic a while back. His foundation is helping with the vaccine, trying to form a vaccine and treatments for the disease. Um, so I'm very pleased that he's doing. I mean, because the man ain't got to do all that. That's what he's doing. Um, they're trying to get us back to work. The antibodies test is an up in the air thing. From what I've researched, it may work, it may not, it may have some falsities to it. You have to do your own research to it. The fact that what they're trying to do is see if you've already been infected, or you're an asymptomatic person and therefore you could go back to work. That's what they're looking at. Now, the thing that I think is critical, but I don't know what Trump is going to do. I don't know what Trump is going to do. Is originally he told the states, you guys, let the governors handle closing down the states. Leave that up to the governors. Now, all of a sudden, he wants to take credit, and probably for political reasons, for reopening the states and making a mandate on when to reopen the states. Cuomo, on the other hand, and a group of governors up in the Northeast have created a coalition, which I think is very smart. The Northeast is kind of its own little circle. Altogether, it's like one little state, right? But it's a bunch of states. So what they've done is they've banded together and they are looking collectively at the data health wise. They're looking at the impact to the healthcare system. They're looking at the economical reasons for trying to open back up, and to what industries are you going to have to open up, which is smart. That to me is just smart. One, you're looking at that because you can't have. We have tons. Let's look at it now. The American family is usually a one parent family, and it's usually a female. Okay, let's just go there. Mama went out, messed around, got pregnant, had a bunch of babies or whatever by different dudes, whatever. And then mama's on her own as a single mom. Okay, so she needs daycare. Okay, she didn't daycare, or the school has to be going because there's kids in school from this to this, and mama can work around that schedule and have a job and have income coming in. But mama, especially in the East Coast, may not have a car. Okay. So mama needs transit. It's like me. Right now, I don't have a vehicle until I have enough money together that I get what is decent vehicle, not a piece of crap that's falling apart all the time. Um, then I'm gonna, I would be on a transit. Okay. So mama, who has, let's say, three kids, she needs daycare, or she needs a school system to be in play. So now you got to get the school going. Okay. Well, what are the risks health wise that the school is going? How it can be transmitted. We can show kids now are getting it. Now, granted, are they as susceptible to dying as older people? No, but they still can get it and die. Let's just be real, depending on how their body reacts to this virus. Some people are more susceptible to others, either based on underlying diseases, and or there's something about a blood type too. That's a whole nother can of worms. You got some big issues there. Big issues. The inner city, obviously, African Americans, we're getting hit hard right now, dying. And I believe there's a lot of reasons why. We do have a known in our African American community, we are more susceptible to underlying health issues for a lot of reasons. Diet, economics, um, that's two big reasons. But the other one I believe is big is that we're not able to get tested and maybe treated as quickly as maybe some of our counterparts. And I really believe that's an economic issue, okay? Because it's inner city. So we're obviously coming from lower income to maybe middle income families. And unfortunately, if you're not in the right neighborhood, the right hospitals, and even if you go to the hospital, who are they choosing? They're choosing the person who has the more survivability in their mindset. If you already come in there with underlying health issues, which we will, then if they're ventilator choices, they're going to make ventilator choices, and it's not going to be us for those reasons and probably more. So we have that staggering number that's hitting us right now. There's a lot going on, a lot. And to say they're going to open it up, I think they're going to attempt. And I heard May. But if y'all look at China, I told you I watch mainly. I'm then listening to the news overseas, BBC, because American news drives me. I can't. I watch NBC. That Tom, I forget this guy's the little brother. I watch him, and that's it. I do a snapshot of that with NBC. I can't do the rest of it. I can't do the surreal and over it. I can't. But the BBC and over in China and those that open up, they're now seeing cases again since they have opened back up the economy. So and they're not fully opening; they're just gradually opening the economy. This is going to go through the populace. It has to. It's a virus. It's like the cold and the flu, not in the way, but I'm saying it's like cold season. We know that XYZ number of people are going to most likely get colds. Flu season, XYZ number. This particular virus is no joke, and it is going to go. I mean, it's going through the world. It's going to go through the populace. The problem is survivability. The problem is treatment. If people can be treated and get what they need, then they may survive it. If they can't, and that's the other thing, we don't have treatments yet, then they may not. I know everybody's talking about this drug that Trump and Fauci or whatever, that hydrochloroquine or whatever it is. There's some side effects to that. I mean, there's heart stopping side effects to that drug. And so some people who are asking for it because they heard the sound bite of Trump mention it, they're asking for it over another drug, which I think they're using. The Ebola drug actually is another drug they're using right now, the one for Ebola that they came up with here in Arizona. They're using that a treatment. Was it Ebola? Is that the? Can't remember that. I think that was here. There's one that was created here. They're using one of the Ebola drugs, and they're finding some success with it. So we're still seeking too much, and we don't know enough, and we're seeing the repercussions of jumping out. America has only probably been down about a month and a half or so since the announcement. And other countries have been 5 months, 6 months. What it is we don't want the devastation to the economy. Well, it's done. When we come out of this, I hate to, and I'm a realist. This is gonna make the depression of my grandmother. It's gonna make that depression look like a cakewalk. And not hoping anything bad for anyone, because God knows I don't. I really, really don't. But a lot of us are going to go through some major financial wake up calls. Folks who thought they was flossing, I got some family members that thought they was flossing that are in some industries that are going to get hit huge, huge, because those industries aren't going to be critical. And in addition, because everybody has been financially hit, you're going to have those who are going to be hoarders and save money, number one. Those who are going to be apprehensive of travel, number two, which is how some of the state gets its funding is through tourism. You're going to have those who no longer have jobs, number three, so they can't go to the businesses, they can't eat at the restaurants, they can't stay at the hotels, they can't take the plane trips, they can't even rent a car. Come on now. So that's going to hit the industries hard if you're in any of those industries. And so this is going to make the depression of my grandmother look like chump change. It's I already know it's going to be bad. And now you want to put people back out there to get more, I guess, overwhelm the medical group again in May because you think that throwing these people back out under the bus is going to solve the problem. Uh, the problem we need a vaccine, and we're going to have to let this run its course. They're also thinking May, I think, because you're coming into the summer months, and the virus apparently does not last in heat. So we now have to no longer be as concerned, hopefully, about the virus in conjunction with, what's the word I want to use? In conjunction with being out and about. We still have to do the social distancing because it can still come. If you're asymptomatic, you could sneeze and pass it to somebody else. You could just talk. When we talk, I have spittle, but there's moisture that comes from our mouth when we talk. By touching, you touch and you don't even think about it, or you wipe your face. Where moisture and stuff is, you do this to your ear because it enters here, 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 and here. Okay, any of those areas, it's coming in. So we have a lot to consider when they're talking about bringing people back into a workplace. I'm grateful as Regina to be working from home. Um, and see, for me, I do have underlying health conditions. I have high blood pressure. I'm a diabetic. I've had a former blood clot that has impacted one of my lungs. Um, and so I do have some concerns. But at the same time, like I said, my spiritual house to me is in order. So um, you guys just as far as what they're going to do, they're going to do what they're going to do. Just make sure your house is in order. Um, as far as, and I know the body stuff, I knew it was bad when New York backed up a reefer unit to the hospital. You can go look on it. I think it's still online. And they put a reefer unit, because it's NBC Nightly News is what showed it, and backed it up to the hospital, and they run in a reefer in order to stack the bodies in. And then they have that island, the paupers, what I call the paupers graves, where they usually are for people who they don't know who they are. And they put the bodies in just the basic wooden caskets and put them in a pauper's grave. They've got that dug deep, and they talked about the number of bodies, and you can actually see the pictures of the bodies that they're stacking from this virus. Um, you got the families who can't say goodbye to their loved ones, and they're, I don't know how you do putting your family member, your mom, your dad, your sister, your daughter, in the ground without even being able to say goodbye because of the contagion of this. This is the reality of which we're in, people. And so, I talk about drivers on here, but we're talking about life right now. And so when we go to the truck stops that have had to close down because they can't get cleaning supplies because some of Americans are so self-centered, egotistical that they got to have everything in their house for them. Or where you got truck drivers who are trying to deliver your food and they can't even get food themselves. The healthcare workers who can't get masks and gowns and everything else because you done hoarded it in your house. It really is a sad state of affairs on how self-centered, narcissistic, egotistical we are. And it was funny, and I don't mean to knock people, but I'm a realist, okay? I got long clippers. I can cut my hair. I'm gonna cut my hair. But this, like, the last of my concerns right now is cutting my hair. But I'm watching ladies doing their nails, and I got people I know trying to go to the beauty supply. Why? You're at home. Stay home. Is it that important? Stay up at home. You need to go to the beauty supply, so if you can't order it online to get some weave or some other crazy crap. Because we're so self-centered, we're it's insanity. And I'm not trying to say not to feel good about yourself or to be a bum walking around the house. What I'm trying to say is reevaluate what's important. Just reevaluate what's important. And I see right now where people's minds are at when it comes to their looks, their features, what really is important, kind of showboating and stuff, that self-esteem and self-centeredness. Reevaluate. We really need to reevaluate. There are people laying in caskets that aren't going to be able to get their nails done. There's people breathing through, getting breath from a oxygen tube. I've been on death's door before. I've been very sick. I've been on oxygen in my lung full of pneumonia. I don't wish pneumonia on nobody, so I can't even imagine what they're going through because this is a respiratory disease. When I came out that hospital, it forever changed me, and it forever changed what was important to me. I all of a sudden saw life through different glasses. And then some financial things happened with the financial crisis, and that helped even more at humbling me. Those life experiences should be what that is. I've seen a lot of people right now, got family and friends who are all caught up into they hate Trump. I don't hate Trump. I don't care for him, but I don't hate him. Actually, some of me feel sorry for him because the brother's clueless. Just my view. And him and my father, to me, remind me very much of each other. They're very self-centered, even though he's a white man. My dad's an Anglo-Saxon or a European descent, whatever. And my father's an African-American male. They both remind me of each other. They fib a lot. You always got to double check what they're telling you. It's always about appearance for them. They got the whole sexual pervy thing going on. Um, and they're very set in their ways. Very much identical guys to me. I already realize who you are, and I feel sorry for that because it's It's idiotic, but that's who you are. Politicians, I don't get caught up into them because from my whole biblical side, Jesus didn't even deal with the politicians when he was here. He render unto Caesar was Caesar and the gods was God. He like I separate two. So I only deal with Caesar as I need to. Actually, the people that was dealing with them was the Pharisees and Sadducees, and they were horrible. So that's who was the religious order dealing with the politicians, and they were manipulating the politicians for their own purposes as best they could. So, which was to kill Jesus. As far as politics, I don't. I'm listening to what I can pull out of being facts of the situation, but I don't listen to all the junk, all the rhetoric. I get people that send me a lot of conspiracy theories. What's true? Was this in a lab? Was it made up in order to be a bioweapon? Possibly. Doesn't matter. There's a bigger purpose to this whole event anyway, on a spiritual side, in my opinion. But also, we're in the thick of the situation now. So whatever it is, if China or whoever did this as a bioweapon, it bit them in the butt too because they lost people. Whatever the purpose was, it has impacted the world, including the group that they think it came from. I don't get caught up in that. Some people have sent me, it's these other. I'm like, oh my God, doesn't matter where it came from. It exists, and now we just need to deal with it. How it's being dealt with government wise, I have no idea. Um, I don't know good, bad, or indifferent because again, we've got things that we're right now. I'm gathering as much as I can just on trying to keep my house as safe as possible from introducing it inside the home. And then if I have to go outside the home and then come back in, how to not introduce it. If I have delivery of groceries, how not to introduce it. All the things that we're doing to take extra steps that we normally don't even think about. You know, I'm washing my when I take something and cook it, I now take my vegetables, I use a little bit of Dawn and water and wash the vegetables off. Yeah, I've even tomatoes. If I have a little bleach in the water, I do that with some soap, and I'm rinsing them off. Like the lady was touching every last tomato we had. It's tied up in a bag. I had sprayed the bag down, put that bag in the refrigerator. But when I go to use those tomatoes, I now have to take those tomatoes, and I'm now going to have to clean them off with some little bit of bleach water and some Dawn. Taking extra precautions that normally we don't worry about. None of us have worried about throwing a bag of any kind of produce in our refrigerator or getting a piece of meat or whatever frozen food from the grocery store. And now, if you put it in the freezer, this thing, it sets up residence in your freezer. There's a lot of things now we're having to look at through different glasses. And even, and I was going on the trucking part, even on your trucking side, yeah, you might get to the customer and the customer saying, hey, I'm going to take a temperature. You might go to the pilot, Flying J, TA, and they say, hey, because of the hoarders, we don't have no way to clean the bathrooms or showers. So unfortunately, we can't let you in there for health reasons. Welcome to the world of who we are as humans. It's sad, it's disgusting, but at the same time, every so often, there's a ray of light. We're not getting things from feeds from truckers who are at rest areas, and families have gone and set up lunches for them and have signs saying, thank you, trucker. Bringing bottles of water out there. Thank you, truckers. Going and giving, clapping for healthcare workers. Or do we look at the people in New York, some of the old grandmas that are sitting there sewing the best they can, masks for the healthcare workers? There's a group that ain't even a little group that knows how to use some machinery that does those, what do you call it? 3D printers. And they were in like this auditorium spaced with they what do you call it, with the 6 foot spacing. And they were all working the machines creating face shield masks that we don't have anybody really, well, at the time, doing for the healthcare workers. It might not have been fast, but it was something. Or do we talk about the people at our food banks that are right now taking the risk at handing out food to feed people because jobs are gone and they got their last paycheck and they don't have no way to buy no food? You see the car lines, right? Y'all seen that if you watch some of the news, you've seen it. It's bad. It's bad. Or I don't even know if y'all watched about the logistics right now of farmers here in America that can't get the produce to the stores because something with logistics. And I'm sure that has to do with money. Again, greed. We have to reevaluate as a country. Because right now everything, even as a world, is based upon greed. All of it. Bible tells us, find the root of all evil. Where do we go back to? Go back to the money. The root of evil, well, root of evil goes back to a lot of times if it deals with humankind, it deals with money of some sort. Yeah, yeah. So we got a lot to deal with. Let me go and see. I was talking about Regina stuff. Do y'all got to look at comments because there was something going on with the comments on my channel when people tried to post. Some of them still come to me in the background, but then I had one that one of my posts, it wasn't allowing anybody to comment. I don't know if it's a setting I have to do. I have no idea. Also, I believe that YouTube has been, if you talk about COVID, they have actually been monitoring it. And so they are monitoring some of the videos. I can't get all into it, but I know that's what's going on. But D, I hope you get well and prayerfully. I don't know if you had COVID or not. It's slowing down, slow going, but trying to get well. Okay, so I'm praying that you get well, and I'm praying it's not COVID. When you have 5 pounds of rice, tons of beans, and a small pack of meat started my garden 2 weeks ago. Yeah, my garden is slow going, but it's coming up. And I saw my son, Shady. I've been taking groceries out of the boxes. They come in, and if it's plastic, use Lysol wipes to wash everything. Because yeah, Lysol is hard to find. That's my buddy Joe. Lysol wipes. He's like his gold to him, and he was having an issue. I'm like, bro, you better get some alcohol, I mean, some bleach, some water, and some dish detergent or laundry soap. Okay, Monae's doing a split. Cat eyes, what's up? Wendy, thanks for getting rid of Easy Rider. African Violet, hey to you. Thank you, yeah, Wendy. I got the butt wipes too. And if you need, you can make some with some paper towel. Let's see here. Ain't that true? Nobody wants to be. Okay. Okay, D, you are fighting the virus then. Same issue. Well, prayers for you, baby. Yeah, you can do a kitty litter box on there. Oh, I didn't know it survived in the heat. Okay, that's interesting. Culinary Grid is saying it changed it. It does survive. Okay, and he's saying he's not going to do the vaccine. Lord the hoarders. Okay, Culinary Grid, you funny. Jay 601, welcome to the channel. Where is this at? I don't know where this is at. I don't know what you mean by that. Jay, you have to repeat it. I was reading earlier things. Hey, United Independent Drivers. I'm sorry, I was reading earlier messages and replying. Thank healthcare, housekeeping there. Keep knee deep in the big body. Yeah, man. I have some family. Most of my family, I think, is retired, but I have some friends who are still RNs. And one of them, she actually was retired, and she was from Mississippi and moved out to California in her retirement. God bless Pasha. And her mother passed. So once her mom passed, she moved from Mississippi to California and retired out in California, got her some land and a house. And when the virus hit, the baby went back to work as an RN because they needed RNs. So she's knee deep out there in California. God bless her, an angel on her door, and a friend of mine. So yeah, God bless her for that. Culinary Grid, I said your name, homie. Oh my God, you killing me. Welcome to the channel. I would have said welcome to the channel. But I went in there, mentioned what you said about the whole. I even acknowledged, like, yeah, he doesn't say what. Give me a hard time. Okay, D's got COVID, y'all. So prayers for you, D. Raw apple cider vinegar, fresh peeled garlic. Let it sit for 3 days. Is ready to use after 7 days straight. Garlic ready to go. Antiviral, antibacterial. 1 spoon twice a day. Ooh, independent. Yes, send me that. I'm gonna have to go back and get that one. Bibliophile lost PW again. Oh, culinary grid. Is this bibliophile on board? Is that who you are? And you created a new name? I don't know. I don't know if you created a new name. But anyway, yeah, I wasn't gonna be planning on being here an hour and 20 minutes, y'all. Okay. What's up, baby? Yeah, I wasn't meaning to be here an hour and 10 minutes. You lost well, they wouldn't let you reset it. You should be able to reset it. I don't know why they won't let you reset it. I didn't mean to be on here too long. Independent, thank you. I'm gonna come back and get that. Yeah, you can make your own hand sanitizer gel too if y'all don't know how to do that. There's videos online on how to do that on YouTube. I know right now it's hard to get rubbing alcohol, but there's other stuff you can use to make it. And they have a liquid form of one with soap that you can do. So, I mean, it's gonna be, you got to do a little bit more, but like I said, I was shocked yesterday. I saw so much, even just being in the laundromat, which is a huge petri dish. Um, I went in there, and what I saw in there was there was a baby girl that came in with her mama, and I understand single moms. She came in with her mama. The mama had a load of laundry. The mama went to the front. They probably didn't have much money. She went to the front and got, one of the little packets. First problem you did was this: you ain't got no mask on, no gloves. She took the packet of laundry soap and took her mouth. Y'all, this is where education comes in. They telling and see the people aren't taking it serious. It enters through these areas. They tell you, again what people's focuses are. Then the baby, she had a mask on. The mask was like for an adult, and the baby kept playing with it and sucking on the mask. And I'm saying baby, the baby girl might have been maybe 4 to 6 years old. She's sucking on the mask. Then the mask falls on the floor. In this laundry, this nasty, well, laundry but nasty. They keep it pretty clean, but still, you got too many people walking in and out. The baby picks the mask up, put it back, and stuck it on again and put it. I like to say, I just started praying. I said, Father God, angels around that little baby, because it's too much. D, you are in my prayers. Um, let's see, United. We also have vinegar of the four thieves, what was used during the Black Plague in Europe. Look for the recipe online or contact me. Okay. Sorry, strain the garlic from the vinegar after 7 days. Okay. Okay. That's actually good. I gotta have my buddy Joe because Joe's very much into natural stuff. So I gotta do. Yeah, we might try that out. But I've been using Viricide, which is like I said before, it's like a Viricide. It's something like that. It's meant for salons, like where they do your nail techs and stuff like that. How they clean out the bins and viruses and all that stuff. So we're gonna use that for the doors, and then I do my bleach and water and Dawn's solution. But I'm gonna have to look into this because I like the natural part of what he's using. Um, and then the hand sanitizer gel, I'm gonna order some stuff, and then when I do it, I'm gonna show y'all what I ordered to do it because I could tell dude was like major homesteader because he had in prepper, he had the guns behind. Sweet mother of God. Dude had his rifles, his AK-47s, and everything behind him telling you how to make some antibacterial. But he gave me keys to the kingdom. So I'm ordering the stuff. I ain't telling y'all yet because I'm going to order it and I'm going to try it. And he tells you how to make the gel. So I'm going to make the gel. And then there was another one that shows you how to make soaps, or like the antibacterial soap, without, like how United is talking about, without using rubbing alcohol, because y'all know trying to get rubbing alcohol over 60%, and it has to be 60% or higher to work, is very hard. I did not know about the heat thing. That's not really shocking me at all, and I think that's what our president and I have to look into that grid. I didn't know about that, But that's what the preppers, yeah, ain't nobody look, everybody like, look, I'm always been, I wanted to homestead. That just had this vibe about wanting to homestead. And if I don't know, the Lord might still open that door. I homestead because, honey, tomorrow the right kind of money come up in here. God bless Arizona. Peace. I'm be up somewhere in the woods somewhere with me some land, my little tiny house put on it, and I'm good to go. I'm good. I might put some other little kind of like what Wendy got going on, put some campers out there, and it may help a few other folk. You got to have the right mindset, and you can live on the property as long as you help out on the property. Child, bye, and we gonna grow our own food and call it a day. Because right now, and that's another thing, I carry food, and God bless what we do as far as our food production here in America. But like we got, I don't know if y'all know about the bird flu going on in the Carolinas. I think it's North Carolina, South Carolina, one of them. And you got the locust in Africa. That's a major food source that's impacted. It's hitting all the Middle East except for, I think it said it was going to skip over Israel, that's a whole Christian thing going on and godly thing going on. And so there's a lot going on. I know we're so focused on COVID that we're not looking beyond what's going on outside of here. That's why I said there's a bigger picture to what's going on here on a spiritual level. And so, but we're due. We really are due for this. And like I said, we're a first world country who's very arrogant. I mean, just even the arrogance of the people going out here. My father was one of them. He going over. They ain't got no groceries. Oh, I'll show y'all some Grumpy. So I warned Grumpy when this happened. I contacted him and I said, look, I said, Monty, things are going to get bad. I said, and so your mother was a mother of the Depression. You need to do some Depression era stuff right now. If you can't get to the store, if it's not too late there in Lubbock, Lubbock is small, you need to go get you some rice, you need to get some beans, and you need to get some staples in your house. Grumpy had, when I went there last, his refrigerator included cigarettes on the door, some water in the refrigerator, and any little containers he had gotten from either the ladies who sometimes bring him food and or food he bought out. Wasn't hardly no food in the refrigerator. The freezer had some TV dinners that were probably well over a year old, maybe 3 of them that he didn't eat. There were 2 cans of beans and 2 cans of soup in the house. That was it. That's all. Oh, and he has some crackers on top of the refrigerator. That's it. Nothing else. No, nothing. Zero. Because he didn't get his stuff out of his last apartment in time, we didn't even have a lot of dishes to cook in. I had to go get some cookware at the Goodwill. Let me say something to y'all. Don't ever live your life like that, especially if you come from a Depression era mama. That's like how he was throwing that soap away. I told him, you don't learn. The wastefulness is beyond scope. You're gonna learn. So I told him, I don't know if it's true or false, because just like his big brother who's over the country, who likes to tell fibs all the time, he goes, I call him, I said, so how's it going? They closed Rip Griffin's down. Rip Griffin's is open for you to go in with your truck and stuff, but the restaurant part is closed because it's sit down where you dine. That's what most people go do. I said, oh, they closed the restaurant down? Yeah, they closed it down. Because he goes to breakfast every morning and they put butter on his toast and they give him $20 for a $5 meal, right? I said, oh, I think I told you that was going to happen, right? Oh, oh. I said, you did go get some food, right? Oh, yeah, I got some food. I think that's a lie, but we were good. I said, what'd you get? Oh, I got some beans. I said, oh, did you get some dry beans? I got some canned beans. Oh, you got some canned beans. Oh, okay, you found some canned beans. Oh, okay. And is that all you got? Oh, I got some sardines. I said, sardines is a snack, not a meal. So he had to go find some breakfast the next day, and he went to this place called Texas Tech. Now, I done told you about the virus, told you, you 70 some years old, you one of the high susceptible ones. He's a diabetic, he's on a catheter, I forgot what other health issues, and you're a smoker. Smokers actually also don't come back from this well. He goes sit down in Texas Tech Cafe to eat breakfast in the middle of the virus. I said, when they announced it, me and Joe went ahead and got our sushi and we went to the grocery store. And we knew that was going to be the last time we could eat together. But as the numbers started coming in and the things started happening, we ain't sitting in a restaurant. No, we're not. No, it's done. Matter of fact, getting stuff to go. That's about it. We went to the grocery store, we got our stuff, and we cooked. That's what we do. So he going every morning over there. They don't let you sit in Texas Tech no more. Yeah, no, they don't. I'm sure they don't. Not most restaurants aren't gonna do that. I told you it's gonna get bad, Monty. I told you I'm watching the news from the other countries where they shut the country down. Oh. I said, you did get some food. Yeah, I said, you got enough to last over 30 days? Yeah, I could probably make it stretch that long. Me, he got no food. And what he's dependent on is the lady from the church or the ex-girlfriend cooking for him. And I said, what happens if, God forbid, the quarantines where they can't leave their house, one, they get sick, two, or they die? You only got two people that's cooking. And so he got in contact with another lady who used to belong to the church. And I know he got contact with her thinking she gonna bring him some food because he only want to cook. Oh, all right, but know how to cook because he want a woman to do it for him. Y'all being stubborn in your foolishness in this hour is just like these people going out buying all this toilet paper. Or the people who don't want to realize I'm gonna have to do something different. This is not usual times. Or the trucker who thinks you can go onto somebody else's property and not adhere to what they have set up to try to be safe for their own facility as well as in you in the long term. They trying something instead of doing nothing. To me, that's batting 1,000. Respect that. We have to think differently. We're gonna have to make some sacrifices. People like D who's going through it, and I don't wish it on honey. I can't even imagine because this is it's a respiratory disease first, and there's other things that fail later, but it's a respiratory disease first, and where you got to have. I've been to where I had one lung full of pneumonia, which is what it opens you up for, and then it really kicks in. I had just one lung with pneumonia. I can't imagine not being able to. And I've done that. You breathe in it and it hurts. I mean, it hurts like somebody's in there squeezing everything you got. When you breathe, tears are rolling down your face. I'm sitting in a recliner because I couldn't lay back because it felt like you're suffocating. That's just pneumonia. I can't imagine having this, which allows you to get pneumonia and then it kicks in even further. I can't. I'm sitting there punching the chair, crying like a whimpering baby, trying to breathe. This is no joke what we got going on right now. It is absolutely no joke. And whatever you guys need to do to be safe in your homes, to stay in your homes, and I know y'all know my Christian view is very strong. I know there's ministers that'll tell you to meet and they feel that they ain't gonna let the government stop them from meeting and doing whatever. I know what those signs of this don't gather are going to lead to later. But right now we're gonna render unto the Caesar what's Caesar's and unto the God what's God's. And we're going to be honorable to our fellow human being. And what I will say is love your neighbor as yourself, one of the great commands. Even if you don't love yourself enough, please try to love your neighbor a little bit more. Try to be cognizant of Bobby Joe's grandma and that he want to see his grandma live a little longer and that you not going to be the responsibility because you asystematic for giving it to grandma. Now we all have our time clock, but if grandma can avoid being sick because you avoided not going out, then don't go out. If we can stop overtaxing our healthcare workers, not only overtaxing them, but I found out today a lot of them are dying. The ones who do die are dying because they are so overwhelmed with the virus because they're in the petri dish of it all. And they have such a viral load. I'm gonna call it a viral load that comes on the virus that comes on board. That might not be the proper term, but I'm calling it a viral load that's greater than the average person that might come in contact generally, that they don't survive it, which is why they die from it. They could be 20, they could be 30, but because they're in the midst of the petri dish and they're getting it at all levels, the level of that virus in their system overwhelms them and drama. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna stop the live. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. I'm gonna stop the live, and I just want to say, because I didn't plan on being on here, and I plan on being here an hour, and I still got to go outside and work on my drip system. Y'all be blessed, two and two, and just be safe at whatever you do. God bless you and keep you. Um, Madam, who's in the midst? I don't know. Well, I'm getting ready to leave, Madam. Welcome to the channel. I'm getting ready to leave, so you have to replay. But give us a like, thumbs up, share it out. It's good to see all of y'all I haven't seen in a while. It's good to see the new people. Welcome. And hopefully this blesses you. Again, two and two. Be blessed. Two and two means peace and peace.